The new report by New York Post Miranda Devine revealing extensive online history tied to Trump's attempted assassin, Thomas Crooks, after officials claimed he had no digital footprint. Crooks reportedly left a trail of extremist posts, including about mass violence, political assassinations, and he shifted from pro-Trump to anti-Trump before the shooting.
Now we find out from a source that there is actually voluminous material that gives us an inkling about the trajectory that Thomas Crooks took to become a 20-year-old assassin. And it's not what the FBI had told us.
So let's bring in former Assistant FBI Director Chris Swecker. Chris, you read this article, you know about the investigation. Where do you stand on this? What questions do you have?
Yeah, well, here's the scary proposition that this Post article raises, and that's the idea that there may be hostile foreign enemies, or foreign intelligence services, or enemies of any kind that are surfing the social media sites and the internet looking for someone like Crooks, who they can then groom and weaponize and turn into, an assassin, as may have happened in this case. Now, Brian, I'm not sure how well the Post article was sourced in terms of forensics. It's a trick to go back and source and trace a posting back to a specific person. That can be very, very problematic. So I know the FBI has pushed back on this, but again, it raises that possibility, and I think we got to be very much, or the agencies have to be very much alert to this, that there may be some grooming taking place. It happened with ISIS and the Halloween plot. ISIS went in there and radicalized a small cell of young people in the United States on the internet. So, the Post article raises some things to think about.
So the FBI, my source in the FBI says it seems as though a podcast, as well as this story, puts together random facts and makes a fairy tale. And they believe that Donald Trump is satisfied with the investigation. Miranda Devine feels like they're not. So now they're going to be coming forward in the next couple of days to bring everything out. Well, one thing they think they do agree on, there could have been a lot more transparency with the previous administration.
No doubt about that. I mean, I wouldn't trust the previous iteration of the FBI and the Biden administration to not hide their own mistakes and not be proactive when it comes to Donald Trump and getting out there and trying to intervene and intercede. And if something were showing up on the internet that was a threat to Donald Trump, well, I mean, we saw the lackadaisical Secret Service protection. And, that's still, I think, we're not quite sure we know everything about that, but we know it was a giant miss.
I want you to hear, this is Biden's FBI talking about the motive with Crooks. Listen.
A lot of the usual repositories of information have not yielded anything notable in terms of motive. Or like ideology.
There were over 700 comments posted from this account. Some of these comments, if ultimately attributable to the shooter, appear to reflect anti-Semitic and anti-immigration themes, to espouse political violence, and are described as extreme.
So look, they both agree on the 700 number, but he could have easily said anti-Trump rhetoric converted from pro-Trump to anti-Trump. But instead he took something that was somewhere in between Republican and Democrat. So it looks like they're playing politics. Does it surprise you that my source says the previous FBI did not have Crooks on their radar, despite the fact that he made it clear that he was open to assassinating President Trump?
Well, first, let me say regarding the motivation, we know that again, the previous iteration of the FBI and the Biden administration try to convince us that there was only right-wing terrorism and right-wing fanatics, and that just simply wasn't the case. But they oriented their whole strategy around that, and they were spring-loaded to do just that. And they took their eye off the ball. So it would not be a shocker to learn that the FBI and the agencies had taken their eye off the ball when it comes to anti-Trump, the lethality and the danger of the left-wing, left side of the political spectrum fanatics and extremists. They didn't seem too interested in that, and they seem to have an agenda driven towards only right-wing terrorism, right-wing domestic terrorists and extremists. again, they may, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they took their eye off that ball.
Chris, we got to get some answers soon when this FBI leadership goes and gives their side of the story. But they said lone gunman right now. Thank you. Appreciate it. President Trump